You're listening to Bad Dog Agility, bringing you training tips, interviews, and news about the great sport of dog agility.
I'm Jennifer.
And I'm Sarah, and this is episode 249. Today's podcast is brought to you by hititboard.com. Hititboard.com has the innovative training tools you need for agility. Having problems with the dog walker A-frame? The HitItBoard can fix that. Your dog doesn't like tugging? They'll love the Tug It. Can't move your A-frame around by yourself? The Move It can. Go to hititboard.com and use discount code BDA10 to get 10% off your order. That's hititboard.com. Today's podcast is also brought to you by 1TDC.com. Dog agility can be hard on your dog's body. Help keep their joints and muscles healthy with 1TDC. 1-tetradecanol complex is a clinically studied blend of unique fatty acid oils that can support your dog's joint health. 1TDC promotes a healthy inflammatory response from head to tail. All of our listeners will automatically qualify for a great 1TDC special offer by purchasing online at BDA1TDC.com. That's BDA, the number 1, TDC.com. Today, we have a very special guest to the podcast. He is providing all of the lovely sounds of spring from the UK. We have Anthony Clarke. Welcome, Anthony.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Doing great. Anthony is taking this call from the beautiful outdoors. I feel more happy and relaxed already talking to him, and we're going to talk about a great subject today, and that is agility relief. This is an event that Anthony is putting together at this time, and we wanted to talk to Anthony about the event, how it's going to work, and also why he chose to do this at this time. So, Anthony, give us the outline of what agility relief is.
Okay, so the whole world's going through a fairly tough time, isn't it, with the whole COVID-19 pandemic, and social media has become such a big platform for trying to make everyone smile and laugh. And over the couple of sort of videos that I've put out, there's been such a good response in regards to people getting involved and kind of doing the challenges themselves wherever they are in the world. And I thought, well, let's try and bring the agility community together even more so, and also raise some money for the charities that are doing all the work to help keep us safe and keep us in a situation that hopefully we're going to be able to fight it quicker.
Yeah, I think that's a fantastic idea. I've seen the videos going around. I absolutely love the one that you did with the toilet paper roll. We'll put a link in the show notes for people who haven't seen it. It has such a fun feeling, but also it really kind of stirs something emotionally in you to see so many people coming together. I thought that was a really, really clever one that you did. And then, of course, there were a couple of little TikTok challenges. Jennifer and I both got roped into one of those, made us both install TikTok for the first time and lost some hours of our life there. But it was really a great way to get people involved, and it did bring a smile to faces. But I love that you're going out and really doing some work for the bigger wide world than just the agility world, and kind of bringing agility people together for that. And for you, what really drove you to put together something that is so global and bigger than agility? I mean, I guess one thing that I think is really cool about this project is that, you are young, on the younger side of the agility community, right? Like you're young, you're healthy, you're probably one of the least at risk people, and you're really taking this pandemic and trying to do something for the bigger world.
Yeah, I think what really drove it for me was so many people contacting me after that first toilet paper throw-in video and saying how much they enjoyed it and how they were kind of in this isolation period and feeling a little bit kind of lonely and closed off to everyone, which I think everyone in a certain sort of sense is. And also workers that have been working long shifts at the NHS, which is the National Health System here in the UK. And they've said they've come home and the first thing they do is they relax and they look at social media and they see these fun videos. And it kind of just sort of lit a flame for me to say, well, why can't we do something as an agility community we're all going through the same process with our shows and our trials being cancelled, and we're at home training the dogs and doing things. And the TikTok kind of evolution, if you want to say, has developed fairly quickly. And just sat one evening having a beer, thought, well, what can we do to try and make this process more engaging to everybody, and also do something good for the people that are helping us around the world. And obviously then contacting the guys who were in the videos and who will be in next week's challenges, and them getting involved as well is been fantastic. There hasn't been anyone that said, oh, I don't really fancy it, it's not really my thing. They all said, absolutely, we're sat feeling the same, and they've got involved, and we all are going to be laughing at each other, but we're in a way where the community are together. And just since the initial launch, there's been so much interest. I've been getting emails, calls, Facebook messages, text messages, just saying how much people are looking forward to it, and hopefully it's going to get them through yet another week of this bad time.
Right. Yeah. I think one thing that you mentioned that I think is interesting about the time that we're in is that there's this huge difference in experience between people who work in healthcare, and they're going to work every day during this time. There's incredible stress. There's lots of bad things happening, in the world and at their particular workplace. They're putting themselves at risk. And everybody working in healthcare is living that life right now. And then everybody who's basically not in healthcare or in essential jobs is at home, completely isolated and completely stuck. So both groups are in this incredibly stressful phase, but they have very, very different like day-to-day experiences. And one thing you had mentioned to me when we were talking about this was how many people that you never knew what they did outside of agility, right? And now you're discovering all of the agility people that do work in healthcare that are out there right now trying to fight this pandemic.
Absolutely. We put a social media post up just asking how many people that actually do agility are in the National Health Service. And it was incredible, the response we got back from that. And people that, in a way, I have conversations with week in, week out at shows and obviously compete against and sit down in the evening and socialize with. And I didn't really know what they did on a day-to-day basis. And these are the guys now that, in a way, they've put the agility world in that small little box that is so reliant on so many people. And they're now become lifesavers. They're heroes. They're out there basically helping us to stay safe and to keep us as healthy as we possibly can. And sometimes I think we get self-absorbed within the agility world. And I think sometimes we forget about those sort of things that happen in real life, for example. And I don't mean that to sound patronizing in real life, but real jobs out there where people are constantly at risk. Okay, they're going into work each day and they're putting themselves at risk. They're coming home, they're potentially putting their families at risk. And I think these guys need to be appreciated. And that's one of the reasons why I thought of the idea of creating Agility Relief.
All right, so tell us how this is going to work, because I know that there are 4 challenges that are going to happen. There's going to be some sort of, voting. How are we going to do this? Tell us more about the fun stuff.
Okay, so we've got 4 teams, and I've just kind of divided them up into the jump height classes. So in the UK, we've currently got small, medium, intermediate, and large. So that's the team names. And they consist of 3 British handlers plus 1 international handler. And what they're going to do over the period of the Agility Relief Week, they're going to compete in 4 challenges. So each team member will go against one of the handlers in the other teams to compete to win the public's vote, basically. So everybody that is going to be watching on social media will be able to have a vote to say who they liked best. And the 4 challenges over the period of the week are going to be what we've called the Great British Bark Off. I'm not sure if you guys in the US are aware of the British Bake Off. So we've kind of done a spin on that. So that's going to be like a cooking challenge. So the participants in that are going to have to bake a cake and decorate it in a dog-related scene, which should be good fun. Some of the the messages I got from the people that are taking part in that have been quite funny. Then we've got the fitness jump. And the fitness jump is going to be a agility hurdle set at small height. And it's how many times that competitor can jump back and forth across that jump in a certain amount of time. And that time will then obviously be set down, and everyone's jumps will be then tallied up for them to be able to see who wins that challenge. Then the third challenge is what we're calling Pup Star Superstar, and that's a lip sync battle. So the participant can choose their own song, and they've got a lip sync to that. Again, a dedicated amount of time. They can use props, they can use whatever they want to be able to create the scene in which they're trying to create. But what we've got to have is within those videos, there's got to be a certain amount of time where we actually see them singing the song. So it adds a little bit more humor to that. And then the final one, we're calling Fancy Feet. It's kind of the evolution of dance. So we've created an evolution of music through a period of time. And each individual competitor then has to put a dance to that music. And it's fairly quick, it's fairly fast, it's fairly furious. And how's your preparation going there, Jen?
It's going. I'm just happy that the dance competition is on the final day, which gives us the most amount of time. I will admit the lip sync battle is the one I'm most excited to watch, partly because our team is going to totally crush it. Team intermediate all the way. But yes, the dance challenge is a tricky one for sure.
Yeah, I was excited. So for those of you who are not aware, Jennifer is the international handler on Team Intermediate. So she is the one non-British handler on that team. And we're very, very excited to see what she has to do. And Jennifer made a very, very critical error in talking with Anthony in preparing for this by letting him know that she is a former cheerleader. So now all of you people know that Jennifer was a former cheerleader, and you are going to want to watch the dance off with a critical eye and see what she puts together.
I'm not sure about that, but yeah, we're working on it. We got some choreography. It's 11 different songs put together. So it's basically like 11 separate tiny dances all over the course of the amount of time. It's quite complex, I will have to admit.
Yeah, to be fair, when we put it together and we started looking at what each handler was going to have to do, I didn't expect it to be as difficult as it actually is. So I'm excited to see what it is.
Yeah, I'm excited too. So for the people who are going to watch this, there are events for each of these contests made in Facebook, and we'll put a link to that in the show notes. And so people are just going to go at a specific time to watch the video. How is that going to work, and how's the voting going to work?
So we've got a team of people behind the scenes that are going to be, obviously, because we can't go and see each other, and with the distance of everybody being spread out so far around the country, we're doing specific videos through internet link. And then we've got a team that are going to be editing everything together to create like a program episode. So at specific times, that episode will then go out for the public to be able to view it. And then there will be a voting poll afterwards for the public to be able to then say who they think has performed the best or have baked the best cake or whatever challenge it is that we're going through. So on the events page, there will be a specific time as to when that episode will go out for you guys to be able to watch.
I cannot wait. I am so excited. And so then the other side of this is obviously that this is for fun, but it's also for a good cause. And for in terms of that, you have a charity set up through what is the website that you're using for the charity donations?
We're using Just Giving.
Just Giving. Okay. And we'll have a link to the Agility Relief page on Just Giving. So, this is an official fundraiser for this charity. So tell us a little bit about the charity that this money is going to. Okay,
so the charity in which it's going to is the NHS Charities Together. NHS stands for National Health Service, and that runs here in the UK. And basically, those guys, they represent and support the work of the NHS and the official charities that then also come together through that. They provide specialist advice, guidance to all its members, so that's its staff, basically, through, let's say, for example, one-to-one counselling and informational online platforms, as well as calls and direct emails with its staff. The NHS in the UK is such a big process, and the charities together come and they basically speak for the whole NHS. So all the official charities within the NHS are governed then by NHS charities together. But the thing in which we're donating directly to is going to be the COVID-19 appeal through here, and like I said, through finding out just how many people are involved in the process of what they're going through daily that are involved with agility as well. It was something that was a no-brainer for us.
Wonderful. And I guess from our point of view, in terms of, the podcast, we have a large international audience, but a bigger United States audience. And I know that our United States audience won't be familiar with that charity or the national health system. And for people who are not from the UK, who are not sure about, where their money is going to, I wanted to point out that, Anthony is the one putting this together. Anthony is obviously in the UK. 3 out of every 4 team members are also from the UK with one international handler. So it is a I guess UK kind of centric thing, but it is designed to bring the entire agility world together. And it sounds like a fantastic charity that's doing great work in a very difficult time. For those people who do not live in the UK, who would rather see their donation go to something that is more geographically relevant to them, the idea is that we're all coming together, enjoying this laugh, and also doing something good. And if that something good is you donated an equivalent amount to something that is closer to home, I know that Anthony, that you are, it's not about the exact charity, it's about the idea here.
Absolutely, yeah. If you can help someone closer to home, if you're outside of the UK, then that's going to be beneficial. As you stated, the majority of the people involved in this are from the UK or from Britain. So what we're trying to do is by add in some of the international competitors into it as well. We're just trying to basically hit the whole agility community and bring everybody together, because I know through speaking to several different people, the whole agility community around the world is taking this hit and is feeling the same. So it's just trying to bring everybody together to have fun, have a laugh, engage in something a little bit different, which will hopefully bring a smile to people's faces.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on today and giving us a sneak peek into what is in store. And that is this coming week. Like we are talking, let's see, the challenges are April 13th, April 14th, April 15th, and April 16th. So everybody needs to listen to this podcast right away and then, set their alarms for the appropriate time for those episodes as they come out.
We've also just had confirmation just before I come on to this podcast with you that we will be having an online auction as well. And some of the stuff in which will be on that auction will be beneficial to everybody no matter where they are in the world. We have some really good online courses and different products in which will be going on there as well. So everyone can benefit from this as well.
Awesome.
And I will be heading up t-shirt sales for the United States as well. So I'll have information out about those. But if anybody in the United States would like to get a t-shirt to help support everyone, I'll be handling that.
Awesome. Yeah, an agility relief t-shirt, right? Like that's
yes.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Anthony. Thank you for putting this together. You've really taken silly videos to the next level, putting a lot of time and care and attention into the quality of your silly videos, your TikTok and things like that. I am looking forward to it. I'm sure Jennifer, once she gets over having to put her stuff together, will be excited to see how everybody does. And thank you so much for being on the podcast.
No worries.
And that's it for this week's podcast. We'd like to thank our sponsors, 1tdc.com and hititboard.com. Happy training.
Two burglars stole a calendar last night and they each got 6 months.